Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, double honors to apostles and masters. I'm Allah coming at you with a video. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the book of 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter and the 14th verse. Let's get right to it. But continuing the things, matter of fact, I'm going to start from, this whole thing is good, man. I'm going to start from verse, man. I'm going to start from 2 Timothy 3 and 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, men of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, and patience. Remember, in Acts 20th chapter, I believe 27th verse, the Apostle Paul made a statement, said, I have not shunned to declare unto you the whole gospel. So he's telling you, you know my doctrine, my man of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, you know all of that. Because remember, you know what? I'm gonna do a lesson on that scripture right there alone. Lord willing, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemel. So it says, so then he goes into some detail. He says, persecutions, affliction which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium and Lystra, what persecutions I endured. But out of them all, the Lord delivered me. So he says, you know about all the things I've been through. And that all things I've been through, the Most High, the Lord, delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahweh shall suffer persecution. So he's telling you, you know his man in life, you know all of that, you know his persecutions. But he says, listen to this. Yea, right? All that live godly in Yahweh shall suffer persecution. So I'm going through this persecution because why? If you live godly in Yahweh, you're going to deal with these things. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So while the godly is going through persecutions, the evil men and seducers, they're going to wax worse and worse. Deceiving and being deceived. They're going to be deceiving people, and they're going to be deceived by the spiritual demon Satan. They're going to be deceived by their own selves, believing in these doctrines of devils. Okay? Thinking they are greater than what they really are. Alright? But continue thou, while all this is going on, what he's saying, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. So while all of these evil men and seducers are waxing worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived, guess what? He's saying you got to continue in the things that you learn. Alright? He's saying you got to continue in the things that which thou hast learned, man. So we not to be caught up in what's going on with them. We got to continue in the things that we learn. So while we see these other camps out there teaching these false doctrines, saying the 12 tribes chart, not the 12 tribes chart, saying Esau not the white man, saying all nations can make it, saying that the Lord could come back 1,000 years from now, and all these other things, they're waxing worse and worse. As the years go on, a new false doctrine is being put out there. A new guy is being exposed for doing something more wicked than the last guy before him was exposed for doing. For whatever that person was doing. Alright? But continue down the things that thou hast learned and has been assured of. So things we have been assured of, we have made sure. Been assured of. We are assured of the doctrines that we were taught by our apostles and our elders. Why? Because we searched the scriptures to make sure those things are true, like the Church of Berea. I believe that's in Acts 17th chapter. So we are assured that our apostles and elders are true teachers, righteous men, true prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shah, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So you got to know of whom you learned them, man. Okay? So in other words, you just don't let this guy over here tell you this, that, and the third, and the other. You don't know that guy. That guy has not been proven as a true man of the Lord. That the Most High dealing with him. Right? Ephesians 4:14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. So we're not supposed to be like children. See, because a child don't have any type of foundation. A child can easily be led astray. So we're not supposed to be like children who can be tossed to and fro, who can be led from one way to another, easily misled because they lack discernment. which is judgment. To come to the understanding of what's good and what's bad, and carry it about with every wind of doctrine. So it's comparing doctrines to winds, because the wind goes to and fro. The wind blows in one direction. The wind blows in the wind blows in one direction. It can blow in the other. Okay. By the sleight of men. In fact, before we get to that, let's get another scripture. Sirach 5:9. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for so doeth the sinner that hath a double tongue. So we are not to winnow with every wind. Now, what does it mean to winnow? You have something called a winnowing fan. Let's get that.